If you've ever made a great contact and later found a postcard in your mailbox confirming it, you know exactly how special that moment feels. So where did this tradition start? Where do we still get the exchange? Where do we still exchange them today? And how is QSLing involved in our digital world? Let's tune in and find out. Welcome back to the Ham Radio Guy podcast, broadcasting from the W0MET studios. I'm Marvin, and my call sign is W0MET. And I'm glad you're here as we get ready for even more amateur radio adventures. Whether you're tuning in for the first time or a long-time listener, thank you. Well, I've got some good information. I need to put some more videos out, and I haven't done that much lately. But we're recording this on the back end, and we'll upload this to YouTube as well. So if you're able to watch on YouTube, that's great. We'll be showing some screens and stuff a little bit later here. And I've got the tower video of my tower being built this summer over in my Wisconsin site. And I did some shorts on it, but I want to put a little bit more of a full video together showing how I built it, the concrete, some of the issues that we had around some things, and things that we considered, and even the anchors that we used for our guy wires. So I'm going to put a whole video together around that. Some of it might be some voiceover. We'll see where that really has to go overall. The next thing of item of business I want to cover here is join Ham Shack TV over on Thursday nights. Josh AA4WX, he's been pushing a lot of good videos. We have a weekly Thursday night segment, and I'm one of the co-host producers there. And so I want to be able to invite you over there to join us if you've not done that so far. We have people from around the world joining us each and every week, and we have a great time over there, have a lot of fun. We have some great topics and some great guests coming up in 2026 and some great topics coming up in 2025 here for the remainder of the year. So don't, put that on your calendar, put it as a reminder, subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and do so. And we appreciate it. I'm on my way to try to get to 500 before December 1st. We're, still in the beginning of November here. I think we have a little ways to go, and we can do that. So if you haven't subscribed yet over on my YouTube channel, I greatly appreciate it. Trying to get there. I'll be doing a giveaway when we get to that level, if we can do it before December 1st. If not, I'm going to try and push it to 1,000. And we'll try and get that done. We'll do a giveaway of 1,000 for sure. But if I'm trying to get this 500 done before December 1st, so you want to help me out with that and be part of that giveaway for all the subscribers of the channel, they will be eligible for that giveaway. So I'm hoping that you'll certainly be a part of that. And, I think you're going to find some great items. I've got some items from Gigaparts, a handheld, a couple of things that we'll be doing along the way as well. So anyway, very much going to enjoy that and looking forward to it. Before we jump into today's episode, I want to take care of a little bit more business on the front end. I want to give a big shout out to Dakota Lithium for always supporting the podcast. I've been using their batteries now for the past 3 years in every environment. And you can probably see a couple on my desk. If you're looking in the video, you'll see a couple of them sitting there. I use them on a regular basis. In fact, that PowerBox 10 that you'll see here in the video that my fingers got to get to, there we go, the black box there. It's great. I'll be down here in the office sometimes in my studio, and I will need to charge my phone or something. It's great for doing that, or just charging the iPad. It's got a great USB-A and C port right on top. It's got like little flashlights on it, and maybe I'll do a quick product review on that one. That might be a good one to do. I've not really showed that one off before, but it's a great little box overall. And I've used these batteries in the freezing cold for winter field day, the sweltering heat of summer, and even in the soaking rain, and they haven't let me down yet. So these batteries have really traveled everywhere with me. They were on my last Capoto activation this summer, and they stay in the back of my truck to carry on flights, and they're still going strong. And I did have a battery, I think I may have posted in my last video, where I had a 20 amp hour, 12 amp hour battery, and it was having a little bit of an issue. And I called Dakota Lithium, and they are replacing it absolutely just free of charge. It was under the 11-year warranty, and so no questions asked. They were able to take care of it, and I think that's just great. So I don't know that you'll get that with any of your batteries that you get from Amazon. So support the guys. They're here in the USA, and I certainly appreciate them for being part of this channel. Use code The Ham Radio Guy at checkout for a discount, and you'll find a link in the show notes. And you know what? Let me just double check that real quick. I'm going to pull up my affiliate notes reminder. I want to say that code actually might have changed, but we'll come back to that in just a second when that program pulls up, and I'll pull up my notes and see if it's there. And one other last thing, if you haven't taken time to subscribe to the show over on the podcast side, we're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you like to listen. And don't forget, you can always catch me on YouTube again. You'll find us there. And it is code The Ham Radio Guy. So that one did not change. There was a couple others that had, but that one did not. So just be aware of that. So the code The Ham Radio Guy, and that'll get you squared up there. So save you a little money on the front end, and helps me out as well and supports the channel. And if you can leave a comment, good or bad, helps the algorithm, helps more people discover the show. And I appreciate all those who have subscribed and are, part of this channel here. And share it out in your social medias. Let others know what you're listening to. And if you're listening to the Ham Radio Guy podcast. So, and you can always support the channel. Find the affiliate links in all of the videos, or pretty much most of the videos, most of the time. And helps support the channel and keep the content coming, growing the community, and bringing even more gear reviews and ham radio inspiration to you guys. I love to be able to give back to you. This is my way of doing it, and educating you. This is not about me getting rich or, having, 10,000 subscribers or anything like that. But it is a way to help support the channel and help continue to what I'm doing, because I really do enjoy doing this, and I hopefully provide really good content for you. I do have something new coming out. I'm going to take a little bit of a change in my music and my Southern rock that I've had for the past couple of years. I've got a little bit more of a patriotic theme I'm going to be doing from the beginning intro. I'm not going to tease you with that I'm going to tease you with it, but I'm probably not going to release that till about January. We'll put out in the new 2026. We'll put out the new episodes with that new beginning to see how that is. I may play as a teaser somewhere in between now and then in one of the podcasts. But because I'd kind of like to get your feedback on it. I've had some mixed reviews. Some people say it's, a little political or patriotic. It is patriotic, but it's not political, not meant to be. It's not to exclude anybody. One of the words that I use, the American ham. And, this is not to exclude anybody from worldwide. I do have listeners around the globe, and I appreciate all of you that listen overseas as well. So, with that, let's go over to the newsroom and see what is happening in the newsroom for this moment. And that volume might have been a little low. I forgot to turn that back up after turning down the volume for the beginning intro music. But I need to get a video to play around at the same time in this stream here, the recording, and to see if I can play that somehow. I got to figure out how to do that, because that would be good to bring that in if you're watching the news channel. It's just me sitting there for the 10 seconds through that music. But let's get to some news. In licensing news, the FCC is currently under a funding and staffing squeeze, being the federal government is shut down, and has been for our record time here of around 37 days, I think it is, which means while the rules haven't changed for amateur radio, the speed at which things get processed might. If you're planning to apply for your first ticket, renew, or request a vanity sign, give yourself the extra time here, and keep in mind that some administrative delays are in play. And, it's a reminder that even in a hobby-driven service like ours, part of the backbone depends on regulatory infrastructure and staying ahead of logistical matters. So if we talked about this just briefly last night on Ham Shack TV, that if you, had to renew your license during this time, that, you do have a 2-year grace period, that while the government's shut down here, if your license expired, but you can't operate. If your license expired October 31st, you're kind of just sitting here doomed until, you can't really do much until you get that license activated again with the FCC when it opens back up. And hopefully things are going to start to turn here. It is going to be, again, it's the longest one ever, but it's really affecting ham radio in many ways for, people be able to get FRN numbers. They got new technicians that want to get on the air. They want to get involved, and they just are not able to do that. So just be patient. It will come back around. I think we'll get there. If you're ready to test, I highly recommend you go ahead and test. and all the other information will get filled out as time comes around. So I think that's, just be patient with it, and we'll definitely get there. Other things, first Hurricane Melissa activated multiple hams nets and remind us that when disaster strikes, the airwaves in the amateur community are still standing. That includes QSL opportunities from special nets and emergency activations. And propagation-wise, we're seeing quite a few solar conditions, which means contacts are much tougher. It's a perfect time to reevaluate how you'll chase those QSLs when the solar cycle begins to go down on the backside, and definitely maybe consider those more digital modes where you're able to get the contact through on a little bit better than just a single sideband contact. It's not quite as broad of spectrum to get that voice, to get the digital signal through as it is a voice. So I really hope that you'll continue to try and achieve those. Band conditions have been absolutely just crap, and that's the best way for me to put it, and I'll put it very nicely there, I think. And so there's another thing I want to bring to news here. There's a new live HF stats dashboard from DX Look, giving us fresh tool to monitor openings and spot where we might find that next card, and getting the QSL cards. And so, something to check out. The other thing is I use on my app, on my phone, the World Radio League app, and they has, if I can just get back to my main page here, I'm going to show you if you're on screen watching. They have a, that's my dog in the background, but they have an app, and it kind of tells you the bands are fair, good, whatever they might be. And if I log in, it'll give me the updates. And right now, actually, they're saying they're good. So they may have improved a little bit. But if I looked at, I think Tamitha Scove, it must have been yesterday evening sometime, or late afternoon yesterday, that there was another couple of solar flares coming our way. So band conditions for the weekend may not be that great. So we'll see where that goes. So I'm hoping that it's not too bad. I'd like to be able to operate a little bit this weekend. And, as long as we stay away from the ARRL sweepstakes, I think the single sideband is next weekend on the 15th, even though I'll be helping somebody take down a tower here in Massachusetts, a friend of mine. I'm hoping to be able to operate the sweepstakes a little bit there as well. That is all I got for news for the Amateur Radio News with release date of November 7th, 2025. It's now time for the Ham Radio Guy Joke of the Week, where Rick tells us the joke. The Ham Radio Guy Joke of the Week is brought to you by Ham Radio Prep. Now here is Rick Garrett, N9 GSU, with today's Ham Radio Guy Joke of the Week.
I was doing some antenna maintenance this past week, and I slipped off the bottom rung of my tower and fell and broke my wrist. Could have been worse. On the other hand, I'm okay.
This has been the Ham Radio Guy Joke of the Week with Rick Garrett, N9 GSU. Turn in next week for another joke from Rick. Again, I just love those jokes. They are very good. At least I didn't forget to put myself off mute this time. I did that at the beginning of the live broadcast. I did live with YouTube last time, and it was a little, I did that twice, so a little editing had to go back and get done there after the fact, but it's always good to hear those jokes. So that might have been actually a replay. I need to reach out to Rick for some more jokes. I think he's been busy, but I'll follow up with him for some more of those and get some fresh ones coming your way. HamRadioPrep.com, your fast track to getting licensed and on the air. I mentioned them just a minute ago using their app with World Radio League. Whether you're brand new to amateur radio or looking to upgrade your license, Ham Radio Prep makes it easy. Their online courses are FCC approved, mobile friendly, and designed to help you pass your exam on the first try, even if you've never touched a radio before. Thousands of ham already passed their license and got their license with Ham Radio Prep, and I personally recommend it for anyone who wants to learn quickly and retain the knowledge that actually matters out in the field. Ready to become licensed or upgrade to general or extra? You can go to Ham Radio Prep and get your coursework there and use my exclusive code, just Ham Radio Guy at checkout to save on your course. And don't wait, get licensed and get on the air and join the amateur radio community today with HamRadioPrep.com. They have a great money back guarantee. You can't beat it. They don't directly support the show, but I do directly support them and their efforts and what they're doing. And so, again, that will, using my affiliate code, Ham Radio Guy, that will help them as well, or help me as well. A little support back there in using the discount code. So, well, with that, let's see what's where we want to go here. Great little segue into this week's main topic. So we're going to be talking about QSL cards. And I'm just checking one other thing. Yes, Ham Radio Guy is the prep code there. I think the one I did change before we get to the main topic here, I'm going to back up from just a moment, was ABR Industries. Just use code W0MET10. That is my code there with ABR Industries. And we'll hear from them in just a little bit. But W0MET10 is the code there. So I'll have to update my my advertisement. You'll probably hear in a minute for that. So let's hear about a little bit about the history of QSL cards first before we get into it. And I want to show you some of mine as well. And just the cool things you can do with QSL cards, where you can get them, and who designs them, things like that. There's all kinds of different ones out there. The word QSL comes from the old Q code, a shorthand system used by telegraph and Morse code operators long before the internet or even telephones were common. QSL meant can you acknowledge receipt, and QSL meant I acknowledge receipt. So it can go either way depending on what side of the conversation you were on. As amateur radio grew in the 1900s, operators began physically using postcards to confirm contacts, sending them through the mail as proof of two stations had successfully communicated. And that was the only way you really had proof. I mean, there was probably no internet, no QRZ, no World Radio League to, confirm your contacts at that time, no logbook of the world. I mean, it was the only way you're going to have proof was to be able to send that postcard to someone. And so you had to do a little bit more research to pull up the address than you do with, QRZ today. And so, the earliest we can find for known dates of QSL cards date back to about 1916. They were sent between two early experimenters. It was simple, just the call signs, a date, and a few details scribbled on the back, but it represented something amazing. And that is the proof that invisible radio waves had connected two people across a distance of miles. So, and that's exactly what it is. It's a great confirmation showing that you've had contact with this person from point A to point B, and that they're able to confirm it with you. So I have so many contacts out there in QRZ where people just have not, confirmed their contact. And sometimes it's just downright aggravating to me, actually, that someone doesn't confirm that contact. It counts a lot towards me. And if I confirm that contact with you, in which I do, it's a count towards you too. Whether you're working all states or a DX grid or a county grid, whatever it might be, it's good to go on there and confirm QRZ. So I'm a big proponent of it, and I really like it. I do upload my stuff to Logbook of the World just because I want to be able to apply for some certificates. It'd be cool to have a few more hanging back here, above my head. But it's not necessarily about that. I just love making the contacts. And this year for me, it's really been a lot more DXing. And doing as much as I can, but I've also done a lot more digital this year. So that's a little change of pace as well. So the next piece here, again, QSL cards have been around for a long time. By the 1940s and 50s, the exchange of QSL cards had exploded in popularity, and hams all over the world were designing cards that showed off their personality, some featured photos of their shacks, their antennas, their hometowns, and others that had creative artwork or even cartoons. They weren't just confirmation cards, they were souvenirs, personal tokens of achievement. Many operators collected thousands of them. Some wallpapered their shacks from floor to ceiling. Others carefully stored them in boxes labeled by country or call area. So I've got a pile here of cards that I'm pulling up here. And these are you can see a pretty good thick pile of them here if I get the right angle. And this is just some of them. I know that I've got a few more. I don't do a lot of QSLing. Most of my cards, actually, we'll talk about this in a minute, is using the electronic QSLs now, which I don't really save, in a physical. I don't print them out or anything. But some of the cool cards I've got, W9 MET, and this is some of the other, METs that are in their call sign. And so that was pretty cool. I like that one. This is one by W4OPS, actually be my brother. Actually shows his designations, different spots where he's activated from and been a part of. And that's amateur radio on the or on the road or on the air. So I like that one. That's a cool one that he's got. The one you probably just saw a minute ago was the backbone of one, Las Vegas. So people from Las Vegas, from KE7JHA. If you're looking for a Las Vegas one, here's the one with, if I can get this one right here, kind of a Kermit the Frog sitting at the station, and some Robin Black, K3RBN. So that was out of Pennsylvania. So kind of fun. That was the one for a POTA contact. The others that I really work hard at, that I do always, are the 13 colony ones. K2F, here's the one, K2J, from another, I think this is from, let's see, 23. This is from 20. Both those are from 23. So, but 13 Colonies does them every year. They're always very good. You guys might know this call sign here, AE5DW, Mr. Don Wilbanks. So maybe that's, I don't know, that might be upside down to somebody, but anyway, that is something, a tattoo he has on his arm with a microphone. Of course, he was big on broadcasting, and so that's always a cool one there. And let me get into the other part of this is, before I go any further, a lot of people, again, they'll use, this one says Westchester. I'm assuming this is probably where the guy was from, in Ohio maybe. But he's got the ARRL logo on there. It's got the POTA logo on there. And, again, I like these when they have the information on the front, which is very cool. And let's see if I can find another couple ones. So here's someone's got the, must be the White House on the front of that one. It might be actually their capital of West Virginia. It doesn't say where this one's taken from. But, again, they just use their hometown, their place. They put this information on there. Very cool cards. They really do come up with some creative ones. Here's someone who probably was in the Marines, I'm guessing. It doesn't really say, but where are they out of? Michigan. So they've got gotta get more of my camera. I gotta get the right angle on my camera. So that's like a submarine. So I'm assuming they're probably a military of some sort. And again, they put a logo on there for USS Parche. Parche. So it's probably one of the submarines there somewhere. This is most appropriate from Massachusetts, the Bay State. Got a big lobster on there. Of course, they're out there in that part, Ashland, Massachusetts. They're probably doing a lot of lobstering. So, and then this one here, I like this one. Again, they've got the Century Club on here. They've got their Old Miss number on here, and the ARRL call sign. So you can really, dress these up as, it's a plain card. I mean, nothing exciting about it, nothing too crazy, but, they've got that. And then I've got an old card myself here talking about, a card design. Had the state of Tennessee with their logo on it. I had my club call. I'm going to zoom in on that a little bit more. You can kind of see the Stones River Amateur Radio Club there. And it's got, looks like the state of Tennessee is the cannon with the wheel, and that's from Rutherford County. And then it's got a little antenna on top of that. So, cool stuff, and trying to get a good angle on that one. But that was, down there. So anyway, just, again, you can be as creative as much as you want, and just some really cool cards to come out with. Here's one that kind of looks like more of an old timer. Someone had it in their old town in Minnesota. So, they... KE0CLP. So Beaver Creek, Minnesota, had old time houses and pictures, and looked like an old time band or something in the front. So again, you can dress these up as little or as much as you want. They are just certainly cool things to have and collect. One thing I was going to mention last night I kind of gave Josh the idea for using QSL cards as the topic for last night because we were kind of stretching for something. It's like, well, I'm going to be talking about it on the podcast, but I'm diving into this as a lot more detail. And I want to show you something. It's like there is, oh, shoot, I just lost the grip of it. So you'll see that there's a whole stack of cards. And then there's another one back here that's a little bit bigger. And there's another one here that is even bigger. Let me restack that again. It's even bigger yet. So you can see the majority of the cards are about 3.5 by 5.5. That is the actual, call it true size of a QSL card. And those do fit in the small, I don't know, I'll call them the small envelopes where it's, you know, kind of this size here. It's not the real, you know, the number 10 is a little bit longer than that. I have a number 10 handy. Yeah, here's like a number 10 right here. So you'll see it fits in the small one versus the other one. It is about, well, the backwards, but that's fine. But you'll see what that is right there. So it does fit pretty good. And so, you know, that smaller size envelope, they fit in just fine. And it folds in half really nicely to be able to put a stamp on and do the self-addressed stamped envelope when you are sending out one. And you should. You shouldn't expect them to pay for the postage to come back. So please put a self-addressed stamped envelope or SASE in there when you ship out your QSL card to somebody, or if they ship one, you know, to you, they usually include one as well. In fact, I've got one right here I need to send back because I'm kind of waiting on my new card, which I'll show you in just a minute. The guy sent me an envelope and a card, and, you know, I'm ready to send it back. So N1 MUK, Bedford, Massachusetts, your card is coming. Just wait a little bit longer. I will get that back to you. It's sitting here ready to go. And so there is that. So, you know, again, these are kind of, again, souvenirs, personal tokens of achievement that you can have and confirm. And so I think it's really cool to be able to see those. And, you know, I think, you know, again, people collect these. They have shoe boxes just full of them. I saw other people had them in books. And you could certainly probably do that as well. I literally just kind of keep mine to the side here. I've got a pile of them. I've never felt like I need to put them in a book or something, but it would be a great way to display them for sure. So, and you know, and for serious DXers, QSL cards or probably still are an essential proof for earning awards. And you need that for Worked All States, Worked All Continents, and of course the prestigious DX Century Club. So each card's a small piece of your radio journey, and each one told a story. If I could find the one card I have, maybe real quick. I mean, I literally just, of all these contacts I have, there is one, and the guy, it was in basically a kayak, and he is out in California, and I was it was either Tennessee, or maybe I don't think I was in the remote station in Wisconsin. I might have just been in Wisconsin operating, but I do not see it offhand here. Those are all 13 colonies cards, but the guy was in a little canoe, or a kayak, I said, and he was working QRP. I want to say 5 to 10 watts, somewhere in there in California. And I was, again, Tennessee, maybe Wisconsin, Minnesota, Wisconsin area. And it took several times for me to be able to get him directly, but we finally was able to work each other. And so, but it was a challenge to do it. And so I remember that card very specifically he sent me, and just that story of all of the QSL cards, that is the one I can remember for whatever reason. So let me show you just a few more here. Let me change a couple things here. All right. So here's what I do too. This is the other thing I want to show you before we move on, is that I've got all my cards scanned. And again, I kind of like when you can put all the information on the front. And I don't know if I just want to come up with a sticker to be able to do this, or just, you know, do these, you know, some other way electronically. But I'm not really sure how people do that. Some of that a little bit, that's some knowledge I don't have. But again, they do put different logos and stuff on there. And you can see many of the various ones. Oh, there's my KD6JUI. That's the one with he was working QRP right from a little boat there. And I think you'll see that one. That's kind of interesting. You'll see that and blow that up there a little bit bigger for you. That's one heck of a little setup that he has on this kayak. And it's just so cool. But that was one heck of a story that he have. And that was really fun to be able to work that one. You'll see a lot of 13 colonies in there. Again, I love collecting those different ones, and people's different stations and whatnot. So it is just certainly cool to see some of those. Some of those I probably showed you already. You might have seen in there. But yeah, just I got a couple upside down. I'll have to move around. Looks like we'll have to fix some of those. But what I do is I store these. I scan them, I save them, put them into a stored file on my shared Apple Drive, and what I do then is take that whole front album and I make it publicly available as a shared album. And I take that and add that to a Raspberry Pi. I don't have my Raspberry Pi sitting right here. It's not plugged in at the moment. I don't have it hooked up to the TV because I've had to do some packing around some stuff. But I have this is for the DAC board. And I literally, if you go out and find a subscription for a DAC board, it's, I don't know, $10 a month or something like that. And I take those QSL cards and I can display them on a monitor over here on my wall, and they just rotate through on a regular basis. So I just let them go kind of like a scrolling photo album, and you can see them on a regular basis in my shack. So that's the really cool thing with what I do with them. That's why I scan them all and keeping them around. And again, the only thing with scanning is you're getting the front of it, but you don't really get the confirmation for the back of each one. So that does kind of suck. I'm not able to see that because you get some great messages, and it's great when people write a message on the back. I really like that as well. And it's really cool. So, I mean, they tell you what they were working, like an ICOM 718 on a hex beam, 100 watts. And so it's just great, cool stuff to see. So I'd like to be able to see the back of them too, but really the front is kind of the nostalgic part of how people created their card and what they did individually. So, but that's a little bit about QSL cards there. And so, as time went on, I think more and more cards were being sent around the world, and with international postage, you can only imagine what the cost on that is, as that gets very expensive. And that is where the QSL Bureau started to come in. So the Bureau is managed by a National Amateur Radio Organization like the ARRL and the IARU. And this allowed ham to send the cards in bulk to a location. And then these bureaus sort out and ship them from there to overseas, to other national bureaus, which then distributed them to the recipients. This wasn't fast. Sometimes it may take months or even a year, but it's worked beautifully for years. And the Bureau made it affordable and practical for hams everywhere to exchange cards, even with the rare DX stations on tiny islands halfway around the world. And believe it or not, the system still does exist today, quietly, faithfully, moving thousands of cards each month around the world. Yes, it does, and it's still there, but the ARRL has closed down some of its bureaus, and it's very limiting in its service. It's not as popular as it once was, but they're still doing it for now. But I see that kind of coming to an end, and reason being is because you have services like, I'm going to pull the one up I just learned of last night. It's QSLcards.ham radio duo. So you can go in there, create your card, and they will automatically send the card out for you. And then there's obviously the QSL bureaus will do that. And then there's eQSL, which if you never signed up for an eQSL account, go in, log in. It can be free, but there's a paid subscription to it as well. And you can, definitely see the amount of contacts you've probably been sent in there. I mean, I've got thousands of them, probably tens of thousands. I mean, last I saw like 15 or something like that. And it's like, I don't think I've ever made 15,000 contacts. Are these all real? So I've tried to go back and confirm some of them, but you have to go in and find that in your log somewhere. And now I've got my log pretty much set to be confirmed, and it goes back to 2018 when I really got my general and my extra, but I don't think I kept a great log back then, so it's hard to confirm some of those, and so they just sit there, unfortunately. And it's like, where do you even begin? I mean, how many a day do you have to start to handle and go look up just to find. I just go to QRZ and see if I found them on my log. If I do, I'll confirm it. I'll find the information. I'll put the date and time in there and hope it matches and go on from there. But I've done a few of them, but I've not spent, a days and days at it. I just don't have the time for it. But I really should send a EQSL too. I want to be able to set that up a little bit better. Now, one thing I was going to show you was my own card before I got too much farther on that I've created. And this is a kind of a new way to do it. Let me go pull up. It should be in my desktop here. Give me one moment. There it is. Let me go pull up another screen capture here. Oh, we've got just covered up. There we go. Let's go. Let me go pull this up real quick. If I can find it in my list. Aha, there it is. Should have that preloaded. I did not. So there is my screen capture, or there is my card. That's my new card that's coming out. So all the information's on the top, and I can still write a message on the back if I want, which is good, or I can put a few remarks here. Thanks somebody 3, whatever. But it's got kind of some cool stuff, and using World Radio League on the iPad in the back. This is a picture from my Alaska trip, and this will be my new one. I got my old MIST number in there, the ITU region, CQ region, grid number, and all that, county, PAPN, so people confirm all that. So good stuff there to be able to see as well. So anyway, so I think that again, good to see that, and I like that a lot. So I'm looking forward to getting that card printed and getting those back. So there is. I'm gonna go do one more screen capture here. Let's see. I was gonna pull it up. I want to show you this. I haven't pulled this up yet. Let's see, which one is it? Should be in Safari there. QSL cards, maybe. Yep, that's the right screen. Got the right one there. So that's it. So you can see this. Oh, let me readjust this a little bit more. There we go. So you can see this page here, design your QSL, pick it, who to send it to, automatically printed and mailed. And, this is from qslcards.com/hamradioduo.com. So anyway, I have not signed up for this. I'm kind of looking to see I'd like to investigate this a little bit more. I think it's really kind of cool. I'm not sure how they're doing that, but this might be an easy way to do it, save hours and make more contacts. Simple pricing, all inclusive, paper card, no hidden fees, high quality cards, postage, mailing, all included. So, one heck of a service there. I think that's pretty cool. So maybe I haven't signed in, so I'd have to sign up, for it. But anyway, something to keep track of. It might be worth a while investigating and seeing how that works. So anyway, that's something I'm kind of impressed with. I think that's really neat to play with. So, all right. Well, let's just take a quick break here, and we will, talk more about QSL cards coming up right after this word from ABR Industries right here on the Ham Radio Guy.
Looking for top quality cables that you can trust? ABR Industries has you covered. Proudly American built and reliable, ABR Industries delivers premium coax cable and connectors for all your communication needs. Whether you're a ham radio operator, work in broadcast, or manage critical infrastructure, ABR ensures that you are connected when it matters most.
And it has such tremendously different characteristics.
From static to clarity, ABR products. Built tough, built here, built for you. ABR Industries. American built and reliable. Visit abrind.com today and experience the strength of superior connectivity. It's the only coax here in the W0MET Ham Shack. Use code SAVE10 Ham Radio Guy ABR Industries, where reliability meets performance. All right, let's get the camera back here as well. Welcome back to the Ham Radio Guy. I'm excited to have you listening. Before we continue the discussion, I'd like to give a quick shout out to the Patreon supporters. You make this podcast possible. Also, be sure to follow us on social media for the latest updates, exclusive content, and a peek behind the scenes. So, I'd hope that you'll go over and check out the patreon.com / the Ham Radio Guy. And we will be glad to have you over there. You can join as a free member or get more benefits by joining as a technician general and actually support the channel. So I hope that you'll take an opportunity of that. I'm going to try and provide a discount deal through Black Friday here coming up soon. And I hope that I can make that work on my channel. I'm still limited just because I don't have a lot of Patreon supporters. So some of my things that I can do won't happen until I get more supporters out there, unfortunately. And so I would appreciate that, but thank you for those who have joined and are part of the podcast. Well, fast forwarding to the modern era, the QSL card, as I mentioned earlier, has gone digital. And, you have platforms like the EQSL, Logbook of the World, and, they've kind of really transformed the way that we exchanges now with, a QSL contact. And so you don't have to worry about waiting months or weeks or days for a card to get through. You actually get a gratification instantly of the confirmation showing that you've made contact with that station. And whether that's overseas DX or, if it's just locally down the street, making contact with somebody, those services allow you to, in like QRZ or Logbook of the World, to make that confirmation right away and upload your information. And so I know some people only do it, maybe, every 30 days. I kind of do mine on random cases myself. And sorry, I was just looking at a message from the wife. She's hopping on a plane and heading back here. So from a week of work travel, but I'll have to go pick her up in a little bit. So anyway, we do have, EQSL lets you design a beautiful card. You can upload your own design too, or use one of their images with some of the paid service. And you can do some, call signs and notes and things like that in there. Logbook of the World, again, is free, and it focuses on secure confirmation for awards. No fancy graphics, but just a rock-solid record of your contact with the other contact on the other end. And ARR recognizes that officially. And that is their platform for confirming your DX Century Club or Worked All States Awards. That is how you have to go about doing that. I've tried to go in and put my Worked All States in there, and I know the information is there. I mean, it's all uploaded. They can see it. It's there. I can see it. But trying to apply for the certificate, what a pain in the rear. So I've not been successful in getting that. I should have had that a long time ago. I probably should try and log back in again, see if I can figure it out. But I know I've got my login and everything to do that, but I just haven't done it. So something I probably should look at doing and getting done. It'd be cool to have that and wrap that up here before the end of the year and make that one of my good, deeds I've gotten done for the year. So, and of course we have the good old email service itself. Whatever email you use, you can send a digital scan or PDF of the physical QSL card to share the experience with, with me or someone else personally. And, I like those. I can save the image, again, upload it right to my QSL photo album, and it stays there. It's certainly a faster, easier, more eco-friendly, but it raises the question, have we lost the something by going digital? Sometimes maybe the contact information, things like that may or may not be on the card. I'm good with it. I'm fine with those EQSL cards or digital email card. The problem is I'm not great at sending those back. I don't know if I just need to go through a service to do that, if I need to reply to do that. And then having, again, a way to be able to use my card, but it's not in a digital format that I can fill out. I don't know if there's somebody out there that needs to do that. I need like Affinity Designer or Adobe that they're doing that in. I just don't know the answers to that. And so I I just don't have an answer how they're doing the digital card and getting their contact information put on there. And maybe it's some of the programs will do it. If you know, please post something in the comments. I'd love to be able to do that. And I want to be able to reply to QSL cards, but I just not figured out how to do that digitally. Again, just maybe it's like N1MM or N3FJP or something has that capability. I don't know that they can send that card electronically. Maybe they're using something besides eQSL. And so I know there's some emails I've gotten through that are not from eQSL. So they're doing it another way, some way. So, if you've gotten QSL cards, I'd love to hear about it. How many you have, contacts, things like that you do, and are you sending QSL cards yourself? I'd love to hear in the comments more about this and be able to understand, is this a dying thing, or is this still, very active and are people very engaged with QSL cards still? So, again, I do get some from time to time, and I showed you the one recently from N1MUK here in Mass, and so I've got to send that one back. But it's kind of I'm really wondering, is this a dying service or is this not? It's the magical card we love getting in the mail, though. Every time you get one, like, oh, I know what that's a QSL card. Let me open that up and look at that, because you love seeing it and you love being able to get it and go, hey, I remember that call sign. I remember that contact. So, many of this, for many of us, this may still matter. For many of us, it may not matter at all. So, while digital confirmations are convenient, a physical QSL card carries that special kind of magic. Like I said, going to the mailbox and opening that card is just, you're holding a story. You're carrying the magic of that contact that was made back then. So you hold that card in your hands and just something feels good about that. I told you that one card I've got from that one guy, the one with MET here on it. I'm going to show you on the screen. Something about this card I just treasure. I love that it's got the W9 MET. I want the W6 MET, the W5 MET, and I should really kind of put them in Ham Alert to see if I ever hear them out there. Some of them might be silent keys. I have no idea, but there's something about collecting all those cards with a similar call sign to mine that I think is really cool. So, it maybe something you remember as, hey, that was your first QSL card. It was your first contact maybe ever you made on HF radio. It might be the night you made the first DX contact potentially. Is it the contact with a rare island on 20 meters? Is it your first DXpedition card? It's the moment that it can never be repeated exactly the same way again. So card's a piece of history from silent keys, rare expeditions, or even something like Apollo Communications' early satellite contacts. So yes, I'd say today these cards still matter, because even after last night's chat on Ham Shack TV, people enjoy getting QSL cards. They're not just a proof of contact, but they're actually the heartbeat of amateur radio's social side. I mean, it's kind of like that text message, it's getting that confirmation of talking with someone else across the board. It's the earliest form of social media, and sending a card or a message back and forth. And as I mentioned last night, it's kind of like getting a radiogram. National Traffic System. How many people still have them? How many people have gotten them? If you've gotten one in the message, what was your message? Send it to me. Let me know. I'd love to be able to talk more about radiograms. I did a podcast on this maybe about a year or so ago, talking about National Traffic System. And, I'm kind of interested in getting into it and seeing what that really looks like, because it's an important way to pass messages, just as you're passing a message with a QSL card. It's whatever they write on the back that can make all the difference in the world to you. It's that moment you kind of hold. Yeah. I mean, it's just, you think about that story of that moment, and it's like, I was in that park. I was during this contest. You think about it. It's really cool. Now, some of these cards you may get, and I got this one from New York, and hey, thanks for the 3905 40 meter early contact. I probably made this on a one of the like Ole Miss Knights, but I don't remember exactly. But I like these. Got the last two initials, MT, which is my initials of my name. Another one here. I've got ACAER, Royal Oak, Michigan. I can't say that. Royal Oak, Michigan. Thank you for the 3905 contact as well. So part of the 3905 club. So I know what those are from. I wouldn't remember it otherwise. Nothing too memorable about it. But the fact that it left a message, I know where that came from. And I can go back and refer to that card down the road if I want to. If I see I've got, maybe 5-6 contacts with somebody, I don't have a QSL card from them, I'll probably reach out to try and send them a QSL card. So let's talk about the future of QSLing a little bit here. The future of QSLing isn't about just one form replacing another, but it's about balance. Many hams use both. Again, I'm more of a physical guy, but I want to move to the digital side a little bit more. And I guess I do use a QSL card in form of a QRZ. I confirm on there all the time. All my contacts are on QRZ and Logbook of the World. So I'm not using a physical QSL card, but I'm using a service that does that for me. So there's that digital, which I'm getting the speed and award tracking for, and the physical cards for those special meaningful QSOs, which I really think is what a card is better known for today, is those meaningful QSOs. So there's something beautiful about the blending of both of these worlds to be able to make it work. A quick Logbook of the World upload for convenience and a paper card in the mail for tradition. Absolutely. That's where I'm at. That's where I stand today on this. Do you do both? Are you just a paper copy? I mean, I look at some people's QRZ pages and they're saying no QSL, eQSL only, Logbook of the World or QRZ only, no paper cards. So people have mixed feelings and mixed ideas on this. So whether you're using the QSL Bureau, eQSL, or you just send the old-fashioned card through the Postal Service, it's what matters most in keeping the tradition alive. I think the card makes all the difference in the world. And again, they've been doing this for over 100 years. It's what was the first contact was made confirmed via cards. And, whether it's after each QSO you make and you get those QSLs, whether it's digital or paper, it's more than a record. It's more like a handshake through the air. A greeting of saying hi. And we all like getting mail. No, I'm not talking about bills and, junk mail in the mail, but we like getting mail and like QSL cards, things like that. We love getting letters from our parents, maybe grandparents. We've always enjoyed that. Military guys always enjoyed getting mail. So it means something. So next time you wrap up a great contact, and don't forget to say QSL, send the confirmation. You're going to surprise somebody on the other end. You know how good it makes you feel? It's going to make somebody else feel good too. And whether that's through Logbook of the World, eQSL, QRZ, I know you'll make me feel good through QRZ. I'd love be able to see my QRZ contacts get, if let's say I've made 4,000 contacts and I've got 2,500 of them are confirmed. I've got 1,500 that aren't. And those are roughly my numbers. They're a little different than that, but that's roughly where they're at. So I've got 1,800 unconfirmed QRZs out there. If I can make that number equate closer to, my confirmed, to all my contacts, I'd be a happy camper. So even if you don't do a physical card, go out and do it through QRZ. You're taking part in a tradition that's over 100 years old. It's one that continues to connect hams and across generations and across the world. I'm going to leave it at that. That's how I'm going to end this. Thanks for tuning into the Ham Radio Guy. If you've got a favorite unique QSL card, maybe one from a D Expedition or memorable contact, share it with me. Post it online, tag me. I'd love to see it. Until next time,
It's 13 hours.
73 from W0MT. Keep the signal strong and keep those cards coming. Well, that's it for this episode of the Ham Radio Guy. Thanks for tuning in and being part of the conversation. Don't forget to share your thoughts, questions, or stories. Email me or connect with me on Twitter and Patreon. If you enjoyed the show, leave a review, share it with a fellow ham, and help grow the community. If you're enjoying the podcast, consider supporting us over on Patreon. Your support helps keep the show running and allow us to bring even more great content. Until next time, 73, keep those antennas high, the signal strong, and I'll catch you on the next episode of the Ham Radio Guy. Don't forget to go out and look at the show notes and check out your descriptions and affiliate links and help support the show there as well. We'll catch you soon.